Hello everyone, welcome back to my Flosstube. I'm Emma, I use the pronouns Em or Emma. My dog is running around, so apologies if you can see him in the background. Dee, who you might know from Dee's 20 Stitches, has said it's a bit like watching a thriller movie because you can see the dog wandering around the background sometimes. I'm back. I've stopped counting on my Flosstubes because it stresses me out having to remember which one it is. So we're ongoing now. So let me talk you through where we're at and what I've been doing. So it's a random assortment of things this week because I've been doing random things. I got some nice new earrings. They're like vases with clouds in. I love them. They're from this person, Livia Wednesday, which is really cool. She's UK based, so I guess probably not that useful for you US people, but if you're UK based, really cool jewellery. What am I doing? Let's start with the quilting that I've been doing because I'm really excited about it and it's rare that I do quilting, so let's just start with that. So this is it's an Elizabeth Hartog, I get it confused, pattern called Pretty Birds, and each block is a different type of bird. So this is the Cockatiel block, and I'm making, the intention is that I'm going to make a really big quilt. That's going to be really irritating, isn't it? Let me just acquire that plastic bag off the dog. All right, now we've resolved that issue. I'll get Chris to put in the full pattern here for what the full size quilt looks like. So the intention is that my parents are going to get me the fabric to make that for Christmas, and I'm going to make a full size version. But in the meantime, I'm just practicing making the blocks now, and I'm going to make a half size, or like the smaller size version, just to practice making all the blocks, practice all the cutting techniques, and figure out any like tricky bits or things that I need to pay particular attention to, like the backing fabric being the right way around, that kind of thing, before I make a full-size one. So yeah, I love these. So those are the cockatoos, and then I also made the Cockatiel. So there's the yellow one. So I think the Cockatiel looks like a really like grumpy old man bird. That's the yellow one. And there's the blue one. And I love these. Like, I'm so proud of them. It's, like I said, it's been ages since I tried quilting, and I didn't have the right equipment, I didn't have the right rulers, I didn't have the right techniques, I didn't know about ironing seams, I didn't know about like scoring off a fabric before you start cutting things. I can see the dog being really dodgy in the background. Please don't eat my watering can. So I've been like trying to do these with like the proper techniques, and they're coming out really well, and I'm really pleased with them. So yeah, I'm really excited to try and make the full size version. I would probably have made, he's going to be really distracting today, isn't he? I would probably have made another block today, the macaw, which I cut all the fabric for, but my sewing machine has died. He's just pinched a load of face masks out of my bag. Disposable face masks. He's just a nightmare at the moment. He absolutely loves stealing things. It's just terrible. Yeah, so I cut out all the fabric pieces to make the macaw because it's quite complicated. You have to cut all these different sizes of fabrics. And I went to put the first one through my sewing machine, and it's completely gone. Like, it needs a service. Nothing will fix it. Certainly nothing that I can do locally. I unscrewed the base plate, I cleaned out all the lint, I took the thing out, I cleaned out underneath it. It was really grim. But yeah, no, nothing that I can do locally is gonna solve this problem. It needs to go to the sewing machine service people so they can take a proper look at it and fix it. But so yeah, that's gonna have to be like a top priority to get the sewing machine into servicing. Yeah, very, very gutting. I've had it since I was 16, so 14 years now, and it's never had a service, which is not best practice. Absolutely not. but it's been fine, and it's clearly now it's just been like, no, I refuse. I'm done. No more. Now you must service me. So yeah, but that's my quilting endeavours, and I'm really pleased with it. So once the sewing machine died today, I was like, well, I've got an extra day back. Let's just finish up some bits that otherwise would just remain unfinished. So I finished off Royal Games. This side has a bit more space, doesn't it? I finished off Royal Games 1. This is a Mirabilia pattern, and it's amazing. I'm so pleased with it. I did my own skin conversions on this, you might recall if you've been here for a while. So I changed the skin colours of both queens from the very pale white that is chartered to obviously a much darker skin tone for the Queen of Hearts, and then a deeper tan for the Queen of Spades. I love how this turned out. I think it's absolutely spectacular. I'm really, really pleased with it. You can go on my Instagram if you want much more up-close photos of it. But yeah, it's really, I'm really pleased with it. I used the Mill Hill beads for this one, but I probably wouldn't use Mill Hill beads again. I didn't love the quality of them, and I just think you can get better beads at a really similar price point. So when I'm doing more projects with beads, I will just look at the colours, compare them to like Toho seed beads or other glass seed beads, and just buy my seed beads separately, because you get more, they're better quality, really similar price points. So yeah, I wouldn't buy Mill Hill seed beads again. It's on Zweigart. It's 32 count antique white. I think I would, knowing what I know about Mirabilias now, I would have picked 28 count. Or I would have been more diligent about taking some of the beads out, because like if you look at the queen up here, the queuing queen up here, this side up here, that straight line with all those beads, it's quite packed. And now I know that people do tend to take some of the beads out to make them fit better, but at the time I didn't know that, and they are quite rammed in. So I think just like either taking beads out, buying smaller beads, or doing it on a higher, lower count fabric. Yeah, so 28 count round rather than 32. I would do that instead. But I'm still really, really pleased with it. I'm not sure when I'll get it framed. No imminent plans for framing. Although I would like to get it framed. I think it would look really, really good. Hanging on a wall. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm really, really pleased with it. I think it's really striking. So yeah, and once I have finished pieces, they go in my finished pieces roll. It's basically like it's a I don't know how I'm going to describe it without unrolling it, which is why I'm just untying it at the moment. It's basically like there's a pole in the middle, and then it's got like, there's already some things in here. It's got like fabric and then bits of felt inside it, and then you can unroll it. You put your piece in it. You unroll it all the way. You put your piece in it, and then you can roll it up again, and it holds your piece inside it without creasing, and it feels really like your finished pieces are really safe in here, and they're not going to get, because of the felt, because it's got a bit of padding in there, the beads aren't going to get crushed, and it's not going to get creased or like damaged, and it just feels like a really safe way to store finished pieces, not for like years and years, but for like a few months while you're deciding what to do with them. So yeah, I got mine off Etsy. If anyone's really interested, I can probably find the name of the shop, but I think it's a neat bit of kit to have. You could make this yourself if you were particularly bothered. I bought one because I have limited amounts of time and I want to spend them sewing rather than sewing, cross-stitching, making things that aren't for utility purposes rather than utility purpose things. He's thirsty now because been throwing all of those face masks all around the room. Nightmare dog. If you haven't met Paladin before, Paladin is half Jack Russell, half Dachshund, and it's a really energetic combination of traits. He's very bouncy, he's very lively. We've since discovered that they have the nickname Forever Puppies because they're always full of energy. Oh, those are my sunglasses. One sec. I have rescued my sunglasses. So yeah, they're called a Forever Puppy because they're just always energetic. And he's still a puppy. He's only 6 months old, so he's still learning manners. Yes. So yeah, apologies if he running around in the background distracts any of you, but it is his home too. So I don't want to lock him in another room. He will also if I lock him in the room, he'll just whine. So it's not really very fair. Let's move on to some more stitching. Where should we start? Let's start with this one, which we haven't seen in a while. This is Tales from the Sea Fragments in Time, and this is number 1, which is the kind of sunrise whale tail. There'll be a finished picture up here somewhere, but this is where I'm at, and I'm nearly done with this. This is one which I got it out today and was like, I'm going to finish this today, but there's quite a lot of stitching to do, so maybe not. So you can see all of this bottom bit is done. The only thing left to do is to fill in the yellow. Technically, it's supposed to be a little bit more grey in these bits of the whale, but I actually quite like them unfilled in. And it's just it's just a really nice, kind of hopeful. It just feels really hopeful. It's like a whale, the sunrise. I don't know. It just feels nice. So yeah. I really like it. I think it's really fun. I will probably just put it in my cross-stitch journal when I'm done with it, but I kind of want to get a few things finished and off my whips list. There's a few things that are on my will be I've highlighted them to be I will finish them this year and they will be off. This is one of them because it's so small that I'm I can do it and it can be gone. So I reckon if not today, then at least this week, this will be gone and out of my whips. The pattern is by Summerhouse Stitchworks. That's an entire kitchen roll. I didn't even know where he got that from. That was a new puppy pad, but we're not even using them anymore. I've closed the door now, so you can't just run into a different room and get them. So sorry, this is going to be so disjointed because the dog's being a terror. Yeah, the pattern is by Summerhouse Stitchworks. There are 12 of them. There will be 12 of them. It's November. There'll be 11 at the moment. There will be 12 by the end of the year. You can stitch them all as one big thing if you're really dedicated. Or you can just do the ones that appeal to you the most. But I really like it and I've enjoyed stitching it as a tiny small. These are not the charted colours. The colours are the colours are mostly correct, but I swapped in some Cottage Garden threads. So the red is Cottage Garden threads, the blue down here is Cottage Garden threads, and then everything else is DMC. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with it. That's that one. Then I've also been working on my Sea Dragon, and I've done quite a lot on this. So this is by Nadezhda, Gavrilenkova. So if I pop it over here, so there'll be a picture here now, maybe, or maybe it already happened and I've just missed it. So here is my Sea Dragon. I agree, Paladin. It's great. It's over 50% done now. So it doesn't look like it's over 50% done, but it is. Apart from that, once it's done, there's a huge amount of back stitching that has to go on. So the 50% of stitching, 50% of cross stitching, not including the amount of back stitch that I'm going to have to do once it's done. I love it. The dog loves it too. Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait for this to be done. I think as soon as this is finished, I'm going to buy another one of her patterns and immediately start it because I love her. I love her things. So yeah, really, really, really love this. And like, I'm quite happy to be stitching this along at my own pace. Like, it's only got 15,000... Shut up. It's only got 15,000 stitches, so it has taken me a while to do it, but I'm not bothered that it's taking me the time that it's taken me because I'm really enjoying doing it. This fabric is Zweigart Azure Blue, and I really like it. Shush. I'm really, really sorry. Chris went in the bath and the dog is slightly anxious because Chris is not in the room. So yeah, that's that one. But yeah, if you're looking for, I say this every time, but if you're looking for a full coverage pattern that's slightly easier than a Haid, I would really strongly recommend that you check out Nadezhda.
Yes, hello. Hello.
Nadezhda Gavrilenkova's patterns, because they're much easier. Shush! They're much easier. Okay. So, as I was saying, if you're new to full coverage patterns, I would really recommend that you check out Nadezhda Gavrilenkova's patterns, because they're slightly fewer. There are a lot fewer stitches than a Haid. Even like a mini Haid is like 75,000 stitches, and that's a lot of stitches. Whereas even a mini Haid is 75,000 stitches. Well, at least the one that I was working on was, and it's just a lot, and there's a lot of confetti. Whereas the confetti is really, really minimal. So I would really recommend it if you want to try full coverage. If you've tried a Haid and been like, it's not for me, it's too, I don't want to stitch one stitch of a colour and then stop. If you're like, I just want to stitch 90 stitches of 310 and then stitch 90 stitches of a different colour. This, you're looking for these. Looking for these bad boys. Check her out. I hear she's also charting an owl. I have not seen the owl, but I've been assured that the owl is really cool. So if you like owls, you're just a Gavrilenkova. Right, let's move on. Now the dog has stopped being such an arsehole. I also started a new pattern. It's Halloween themed, so now it feels really weird to be showing you this because it's so out of kilter. Here it is. It's by Autumn Lane Stitchery. It's called Current Mood. I think I've nicknamed it Pumpkin Cat. Pumpkin Cat. I love it. I stitched this in 1 and a bit days so far because I was like, yes, I want a pumpkin cat. Now, whether I continue stitching on this or whether this goes away and comes out before next Halloween and I just like blast it out and finish it then, I'm not sure. This fabric is amazing, but I'm not going to tell you who it's from because it's from a dyer that I really would not recommend in any way using their services. So I was very lucky that I got this. Their service is not good at the moment in any way, and I don't want to point people towards them. So I'm really sorry. I know that it's showing up really amazing on camera and it is a really nice piece of fabric, and if their customer service was decent in any way, I would point you towards them. But at the moment, I cannot recommend them to you. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this. I think maybe make it into a pillow. I've got some cat fabric, so I could put like cat-themed fabric on the back, which would be really cute. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, I like it. So that's that one. And then let's do this one, which I'm not like it hasn't changed a lot because I'm still working on the borders, but god damn it, I put stitches in it. So this is My Home in the Garden by Liz Matthews, and this is bigger than it looks. So you look at that and you're like, oh yeah, it's a sampler, it's nice, it's a sampler. This is, I'm getting up Pattern Keeper so I can tell you. This has within it 16,000 stitches. 16,000 stitches. And if you buy the silks or you're doing it with specialty threads, that means you're stitching 16,000 stitches individually. So if you're me, that means you're stitching 16,000 stitches individually on 36 count. Yay. Why? So, it looks so good though. This is a piece of fibre on a whim, 36 count in Hazelwood. I didn't want to go quite as white as the suggested fabric because I didn't want it to look quite so like prim, because I'm not prim. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. I'm not prim. I don't want to dip this in my coffee accidentally. So let me just hold this a bit closer. So there we go. You can see my border. There's a lot more border to go, but there it is. This is the suggested Gloriana silk for the borders, and it is beautiful. And Gloriana silk is amazing to work with. Like, I thought Dinky Dye silk was great. Gloriana silk is like on a different level. It's impossible to get hold of, like, unless you happen to find a single shop that has like the one you need in it. I've got some on back order for, I really want to start. Do you remember like a few months ago I said I was buying, I have bought the Octopus Treasure Cave pattern from Chatelaine, and I am kitting up that pattern. Zarina at Hawkins Hobbies is kitting up for me, and she has everything apart from the Gloriana threads because they're on like 6-month back order. Because Gloriana is a hand dyer, and they're a small hand dyer. They're like a family run business. I'm not sure they're family run, but they're like a really small business. So they're really struggling, like delays due to the pandemic, illnesses, lockdowns, like they're really struggling to keep up with supply. So she said to me, I've got everything apart from the Gloriana threads, I can send it to you. But that pattern, the Gloriana threads are so integral to the design. The first thing you have to do uses Gloriana threads. So there's no point me having it without the Gloriana threads. So it's really frustrating because if I could have done like 3 steps without using Gloriana threads, I would have had it and started, but I can't because they're so integral to the whole thing. I'll talk about that later, but yes, they're amazing. I'd really recommend them, but like they're like gold dust. So if you want one and you see it, like buy it then, because there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get it later. Like, and don't buy enough. Like buy as much as you need when you need it, because there's no guarantee that you'll be able to get more when you want it. Like it's really tight. Like supply chain issues are a real thing. But yes, I'm doing 1 strand over 2 on the 36 count, and my eyesight can cope with that. So if you are someone who struggles with eyesight issues and you tried 40 count and it's too small, maybe try 36 or 35, because I can't see 40 count, it's too small. I've got 1 piece on 40 count that I'm gonna like battle to the end with, but maybe using magnifier, but 36 is fine without magnifier for me. And then finally, this is really exciting. I have only got 4,000 stitches left to do on this piece. And this, regular viewers are like, it's the new normal by Longdog. Yes, it's the new normal by Longdog Patterns. I've been stitching on this since March this year. So it's a regular feature on this channel. And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it when it's done. And here it is. Wow. So, since you last saw it, I think when you last saw it, I'd been stopped by the fact that I didn't have enough thread. So since you last saw it, I've finished off the dragon here, I put in my initials, I put in this dragon here, and then, that's the wrong side. I came down into the rabbits and I did all this back stitch here, and I started filling in here, and look, I have committed I've been bold. I was bold. I committed, and I've started coming in up here. And all that remains is this section here and a few bits of backstitch. And that is 4,000 stitches and a bit of backstitch, and it will be done. And 4,000 stitches is 8 good evenings, or 4 really good days. And that is 9 months of work. And that's not like solid work. It's not like I've only worked on that, because I definitely haven't. I've worked on the pieces like you've seen. I've finished the Mirabilia. I've worked on things like I worked on the Sea Dragon. Like, if I'd worked solidly on this, I reckon it probably would have taken 2 months. But that's no fun. I want to work on the things as well. But it shows that you can do it. Like, if you, I was working on this on the assumption that I would put in on average 100 stitches a day, over 9 months. And so with that, and I mean, it's not like every day I put in 100 stitches on average. So like some weeks I put in 500 stitches on a Saturday, and then like 200 stitches on a different day. And some weeks I have put in 100 stitches every day. And then some weeks I haven't done anything on it for 2 weeks, and then I've had a weekend where I put in 2,000 stitches. So it varies, because I'm not the kind of person where I'm like, every single day I will sit down, I will stitch for an hour, because I can't. My life isn't like that. I can't commit to that. It's very unusual that I have a day where I don't stitch on something, but whether that's always the same pattern, that's the that's the rub, because I like the variety. But yeah, 9 months of always coming back to it, and if I have like 2 weeks off, been like, it's been 2 weeks, you need to get back to it, means I'm now here, and I love it. I do. And I'm so excited. So when it's done, I'll have to start saving some money to get it framed, because I think it's going to be quite expensive. It's big, but totally worth it. And I've put a lot of time and effort into it. So I'm looking forward to it. The other thing I'm slightly concerned about is that I only bought a small thing of thread, because I didn't know how much I was going to need, and it's definitely not going to be enough. You can see, I don't know if you can see. Come on, camera. I think you can kind of see there, the ribs where you can see through. There's definitely not going to be enough there to do the remaining 4,000 stitches, so I'm going to have to buy another one. I just don't want to have too much. But yeah, I'm going to need to buy another one of these to finish it. So I'm going to buy that now, so I don't accidentally get caught up in the like Christmas postage thing. So yeah, I should have bought 2, but it's hard to know how much you're actually going to need. But I had like 10,000 stitches to go, so maybe I should have foreseen that I would need 2. But anyway, that's that. In terms of plans, a couple of things. So, the first really exciting and delighting thing is that Chris found my threads for my Owl Forest bird samplers, which I thought, were lost forever. I was never going to see them again. Gone. They've turned up. So that means at some point I can stitch goldfinches and sunflowers and geese without needing to go and buy the threads again. So I'm really, really pleased about that. The other thing that I'm planning on doing, obviously, is making a massive quilt. So that's another quite big plan on the go. Please leave those threads alone. Please leave my threads alone. What have you found? What are you doing there? Dear Lord. The other thing that I'm planning on doing next year is Whip Go. So Whip Go famously is by Jessie Marie Does Stuff. Jessie Marie Does Stuff. I'm sorry, the dog is now trying to eat everything again, and it's distracting. So I've made my Whip Go board. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Here it is. So the things that I've put onto my Whip Go board are, you can see, hopefully I'll ask Chris to put it in. Yeah. Shush, dog. Things that I... No, you can't have those threads. No, absolutely not. No. Gloriana looks we're a little bit at risk there. There's some dog slobber on the outside of the packaging. But thankfully he has not penetrated the plastic. Dog saliva. Let's start with Whipco and go on from there. I'm sorry, this is just... I'm going to have to title this something like The Dog is a Terror. So you can see what I've put on my Whipco board. Princess Eliana features a couple of times, 3 times I think, because I want to finish her. Sea Dragon is on there because I want to finish it. Dinosaur Forest. Dinosaur Forest is on there twice, but each time is a page finish because I want to finish it. And it only has 2 pages, so it will be done. Dark Queen of the Seas. I put 1 part in for each month because the parts are massive and I plan on like not finishing. Realistically, I won't be able to finish a part in a month, but like when it gets called, I'll then finish it over the course of the year. Pardon me. Peppermint Purple Inclusive Pride. I don't know if you recall this one, but it's one that I started a really long time ago. It's a black work piece, and it's a it's the trans and black rights, black and POC inclusive. Why are my words not happening? It's the significantly more inclusive pride flag. The pride flag is already inclusive, but this one is explicitly inclusive of black individuals and trans individuals. So where there might be gay people who aren't inclusive of those people, this one explicitly is inclusive of those individuals. So I made a start on it already, so you can see the trans flag coming in strong, but I put it in to finish it because, again, it would just be nice to have it done, and it's black work, so although it's quite thought intensive, it's not that time intensive, so I reckon in a month I could just do it. Sorry, he's just been sick, so I'm just keeping an eye on him in the background. The Trans Pride Tapestry by These 20 Stitches, which is the big one with the unicorn. I have got that on there twice, I think, with 2,000 stitches each. The thing itself has, I think, 20,000 stitches, so 4,000 stitches is a fair chunk. Deerland, which is an Andriana Designs thing, and is like humongous. I put a page in for each one because it's a start. Santa's Magic. I would like to finish Santa's Magic at some point, and yeah. Mother Nature. Mother Nature is surprisingly big. So Mother Nature has 9,000 stitches in it. So again, I think it's on here twice and 2,000 stitches each time. So it's, it's a hefty... 4,000 stitches would be a hefty chunk off that one. And the person who I'm intending to give it to had some really big life news this week, and potentially like even bigger life news happening. So like if I could finish it and give it to her, that would be great. My Home in the Garden. So that is on here twice. One of them is to finish the borders, and one of them is 2,000 stitches. Whichever one gets called first, I will swap finish the borders into that one, because that's obviously the first one that I want to do is just finish the borders, and then the second time would be 2,000 stitches. Finishing the borders would be significantly more than 2,000 stitches, but it's so critical to framing the rest of the piece that I want to do that first. The borders are so integral to the framing of the rest of the piece that I just it's so important to get them finished, and then I can start on the interesting bit. And also, if I don't do the borders first, there's a really good chance that I'll finish it and then be like, the borders, I'll wait until I die and leave the borders for, some unknown relative to finish. The Heart Sampler by Kit Massier. I will just ask Chris to put in a picture here because you haven't seen it. But I love this piece and I really want to start it. So that is on my Whip Go. I may start it before then, or I'll start it as part of Whip Go. But yeah, I'm really excited about that one. I go back and forth about what fabric, whether to just put it on some pink. I'm really uncertain, but I'll decide. This next one may change, but I have a really tiny chatelaine pattern called Fly Agaric. It's like a little teensy weensy mushroom. And I put that on as a start and finish. If my Octopus Treasure Cave kit arrives, I will do that instead. If not, I'll do Fly Agaric. Another start and finish that I've got on there is Christmas is Coming by Barbara Anna Designs, which is the one with the snail. It's up here. I love it. I love it so much. I have had this in my pattern stash for at least 6 months now, and I just haven't found time to do it. And so I really just want to find the time, get it done, and I figured having it on Whip Go as a start and finish will be great. It's only 2,600 stitches, so easily doable in... Like, I'm not going to be rigid about, like, if I don't finish it in the month it's called, that's it. The goal is over. Like, if I finish it in the year, all good. Thank you, dog. I think that's everything that's on there. It is. So those are the projects that I'm focusing on as, like... I'm sorry, it's so hard to think when he's barking, and my brain is already not the best. So yeah, so those are just the things that I'm like, I want specific goals in to like try and progress. Shush. The things that I will be working on ongoing are my Northern Expressional Needlework Rainbow Band Sampler. It's not the Rainbow Band Sampler, it is the Twisted Band Sampler. The Twisted Band Sampler, I intend to finish one band a month. Laying that down now. Because it's been in my drawer for ages and I just haven't got to it. But yeah, one band a month should be achievable, would finish it next year. I also, same as the new normal, I'm starting another sampler with the intention of finishing it next year, and that is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2018 Sal, which is the seasons one. It has like spring, summer, winter, autumn. I'm starting that in a silk on a Jojo Designs fabric, and that is slightly small, it's only 33,000 stitches, so I've got a bit more flex, and that will be my big sampler for next year. Those are all of my plans for now. Other things pop up. I also want to make some more clothes. But hopefully, fingers crossed, all things being equal, I will finish my degree in January, and then I won't have to spend any time working on uni stuff. So that will be a delight. Right, I'm gonna go so that you don't have to listen to the dog anymore. I'm very sorry that he was such a pest for this entire recording. I'm going to go and make sure that he's alright, because he was a little bit ill in the middle of this. And I will see you in a few weeks' time. Bye!